For we are leaders of inclusiveness and community, of love, equity and justice. Judith Heumann, disability rights activist, 1947 to 2023. In 2022, during the Global Disability Summit, disability campaigner Abia Akram spoke to Judith Heumann by video call about her life and work. Here's how the conversation ended.
Jiri, thank you so much for your time, and this was really amazing to learn from your experiences. Just one point, if you want to share a message to the emerging young persons with disabilities, especially girls with disability.
What is really important is turn to your left, turn to your right, in front of you, behind you, the people who are not here today, and really look at what is happening to them. How are you helping to empower them? How is your organization or other organizations allowing disabled girls and women and boys and men to feel like their voice matters?
A montage shows young people with disabilities working, learning, chatting and meeting on a video call. A wide road in Islamabad with green spaces and buildings. Abia is driving with her assistant Amar in the passenger seat.
I'm so bad with the directions. Every time I have to depend on Amar. He's deaf. We created our own sign language. And that sign language is just like, in a second I have to sign something because I have a hand control car.
Abia speaks in voiceover as we see her driving through the city. She moves from the car to her motorized wheelchair and continues into her office.
Through the Equal World campaign, we are engaging and documenting those experiences of youth with disabilities around the globe. How difficult it is for them to take the decision in the policy level, at the legislation level, and what kind of challenges they are facing every day in their lives. It's just small changes that they can create the huge change in the whole narrative of the Sustainable Development Goals.
Abia joins a video call with young disability activist Tapiwa.
Hi Tapiwa, it's so good to finally meet you. Is it a good time for you to chat?
It's too fine, it's a good time.
Okay, perfect. I have heard a lot about you. Your success as an athlete and work you have been doing for the young people in Harare, all amazing things. It would be really great if you could tell me a bit more about yourself, because I just want to know, and many people around the globe want to know about you.
Okay, my name is Tapiwa Prince Mutsikira. I have intellectual disability. And I'm an athlete for Special Olympics Zimbabwe.
Tapiwa runs on an uneven road in Harare as we hear his voiceover.
I'm a long distance runner. You have to train every day. I rest only Sunday because you go to church. My motivation to say I can do it was most of the time, especially with the disability, we face some obstacles. For me, I'm trying my best to work very hard because I want to achieve my goal.
Tapiwa's mum cooks breakfast in the kitchen whilst he trains in the yard outside. Tapiwa runs to his former school and we hear his voiceover.
Some of the teachers at my former school always say, you don't deserve running, with your disability. So my coach always saying, keep going, don't listen to them. You can be somebody.
Tapiwa training with students at his former school and an interview with his former coach, Zachariah.
Tapiwa finished his progress in this school. Then we again called him back to come and join our coaching staff. We are supporting Tapiwa, whatever program he comes with, and he's trying to integrate these kids, motivating them, giving them support so that they can prosper somewhere.
A panning shot over Tapiwa's neighbourhood, then he talks to Isaac Smwale from Sightsavers in the back of a moving vehicle.
On top of being an athletics coach, I recently found out that you are conducting some life skills sessions.
If you go to the community halls, we are doing agriculture. Mm-hmm. We are teaching life skills, especially with the disability. We have to remove ourselves into children mode. We have to work, we don't have to depend on somebody. I say we have to start something as persons with disability. Starting to doing agriculture. If you are good in sports, we can teach you in sports. If you are good in whatever the things you want, we're always helping you. So I started when I was 16 years.
Okay.
An aerial shot of Tapiwa's suburban home community. Inside a home, he's doing physiotherapy with his neighbour Edwin. We hear from Edwin's wife, Juliet.
It's about 2 years now.
That's when he saw my husband and he said, "Grandpa, I want to help you. I train school children and other people. Grandpa, since you struggle to walk, I will not ask you to come to the community hall where I conduct physical training. But I will train you in your home until you get better and can walk."
Edwin speaks.
I used to be very cross, Tapiwa.
Tapiwa reduced me to be a calm person.
I feel the youth have a lot to learn from Tapiwa as a community. They are lucky to have him now.
Tapiwa walks towards some parked minibuses. He boards one of the vehicles. Then it drives through Harare. The camera follows Tapiwa from behind as he walks up to the National Stadium. He's running on a track and then sits on the track, talking to Isaacs from Sightsavers.
Sometimes I feel a lot. Sometimes you have to feel big, but don't allow failure to define you. Because if you are failing, you are doing something in your life.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So if you are failing, you are going somewhere. Sometimes you learn from your mistakes and you learn experience from other people.
Tapiwa running in the National Stadium. Voiceover from Tapiwa's Special Olympics coach, Cheryl.
I've coached Tapiwa for about 7 years now, since 2017.
She speaks to the camera and walks with Tapiwa on the track.
When we were preparing for our World Summer Games in Abu Dhabi, I've seen him grow from an athlete to being a leader. And now he can mentor his fellow athletes in whatever they're doing. And whenever Tapiwa speaks, they listen and they want to know more about being a leader, how you can become a leader, how you present yourself when you are a leader. He has grown to another stage that he molds himself wherever he is. He knows what he is doing. He's now focused.
How do you feel now, being a global youth champion and speaking to politicians, influencers, duty bearers, and decision makers from around the world?
It is good. They have to include us in everything they are doing. Nothing for us without us.
Tapiwa and fellow youth activist Lydia Razasi walk past international flags as they attend the United Nations Civil Society Conference in Kenya. Tapiwa speaks.
Now I'm in Kenya, Nairobi, UN. I was involved to being here, to advocating for persons with a disability.
We have to remove ourselves in the charity mode. We have to do our own things. We have to depend on ourselves. Each and every time we go back, guys, I need your help. For what? Doing something with our ability.
An aerial shot of Harare, then one of Islamabad. Abia and Tapiwa are on their video call.
So good talking with Sightsavers was they are giving us the opportunity to show the world we can do it.
That's so amazing to hear from you, and thank you so much. And definitely we want to see the world with equal opportunities for everyone. It's been amazing to talk to you. We will continue this discussion as we advocate together.
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you on WhatsApp. I'll text you a message. Maybe we can have some more conversation.
Don't hesitate. Please call me anytime you need.
Abia in a cafe on her laptop as we hear her in voiceover.
One of the young people inspiring me, doing great work at the moment, is Taqwa Ahmed.
Taqwa Ahmed doing karate and then speaking at a UNICEF event.
My name is Taqwa Ahmed. I'm a social activist, peace promoter, and a motivational speaker from Gujranwala, Pakistan.
Abia and Taqwa meet in a cafe.
Taqwa, we always meet, but we never get a chance to talk to each other. In your very young age and how you felt about your education, was it difficult to get the education?
When I started my educational journey, it was very difficult due to strange looks and discouraging behavior of the people. At the class 5th, I studied in a local school in Gujranwala. But when the principal changed, they said we can't afford her anymore, so take her home.
So
support.
was it difficult when they said take her home?
Yeah, it was very difficult and it was very discouraging.
Yeah.
Because they didn't support me. They said we can't destroy our beautiful building due to a one single lift or a ramp.
So what was the first thing came in your mind? Like you have to fight for it?
When they kicked me out of the school, I was like, now I'm gonna do best and show them that without their help I can do more. So from that day onward now, I'm doing homeschooling and now I'm doing my first year, which is also known as FA from Allama Iqbal Open University.
I live in Islamabad. Still, I face so many challenges in my life. But living in Gujranwala and also having very limited support from the organizations, how you started your passion and your work?
Actually, when I was young, the society's behavior, the relatives' behavior pushed me into this field and I had started my work at the age of 6 with the help of my parents and their motivation. They are my mentors, my motivation, and such as people like you, Abia. You guys have turned me like what I am now.
And what kind of change you want to see in the community and how you can bring this change?
We have to work as a team, as a group, as a leadership, so we can overcome these all stigmas and challenges. Especially this can be started from here. So it's in our own self that how we have to face the challenge. Are we gonna give up or we have to stand? I think we have to change our mindset and we have to tell people that if we can do, so can you. There is no such discrimination in ourselves. There is no sympathies for ourselves. There is only empathies and more opportunities for us that we can do more better things. Like I can do karate. I'm doing karate. I'm gold medalist in karate. And I am also the UNICEF's first ever youth advocate. So, in my opinion, I think we need to make this thing globally and to tell the world that we can do this. Please give us some support.
Taqwa shows off some karate moves from her wheelchair. Abia and Taqwa move slowly on a path in a beautiful park.
If you can enjoy the life without this advocacy work like other girls, is it a way we are visioning our life or you want to continue with the campaign work?
I think this is now part of my life, doing advocacy and all. And I think everyone in this world have a motive to come in this world. And my motive is to motivate people about the person with disability and advocate them that they are not a curse or not a burden. They are an honorable person of the society.
Yes.
So if I don't do these works, I don't feel alive.
An aerial shot of Islamabad, then back to the cafe. Abia makes a phone call.
I'm going to talk to one of our fellow activists about his work and the preparation for the Summit for the Future. Hi Basiru, this is Abia. How are you?
Basiru speaks from home.
Hi, I'm good.
It's so good to hear from you.
Same here.
How are things going in Freetown?
An aerial shot of Freetown, Sierra Leone, a bustling city with mountains in the background. Basiru is being interviewed in a broadcast news studio for a program called This Day.
For those who are watching or listening for the first time, I am the Executive Director of Youth and Children in support of Sustainable Development Goals. But also in addition, I am now the Equal Youth Campaigner for Sight Savers International. One of the things we've done, we advocated for the governments and partners to put the SDGs into Braille. The importance of this is that when we have access to such materials, then we'll be able to make informed decisions. Then we'll be able to engage governments, we'll be able to engage partners, community leaders, to see how best those things that are in the SDGs will be implemented, especially the pledge to leave no one behind.
Basiru's old school situated on the edge of the water. He speaks to the students during their school assembly.
It's always a pleasure to be at the Great Prince of Wales. My name is Basiru Ba. Of course, I was here like you, and today I want to briefly talk about the Sustainable Development Goals. It is important that you have knowledge on the SDGs because it is what we need today for our present and even for our future.
A student with a visual impairment reads a Braille version of the Sustainable Development Goals as Basiru watches. Basiru and colleagues drive to Freetown to a school for the blind. They chat on their way into the school.
Young people have a voice.
Basiru speaks to students and hands out braille copies of the Sustainable Development Goals.
The world will be hosting Summits for the Future in September at the United Nations. So I will be representing your views at that platform. But in addition to that as well, today we have copies of the SDGs in braille. So we hope that you will read this book and be able to understand what's there and see how best, as young persons with disability, you'll be able to make contribution in Sierra Leone.
Basiru visits the National School for the Deaf. A teacher speaks and then Basiru speaks as another teacher translates into sign language for the students.
When they go to the secondary schools, there is no sign language teacher there to sign for the kids. So they're having too much of problem.
I want to commit myself that will ensure that we heavily and seriously flag the issue of hearing impaired persons in Sierra Leone, their constraints, and what's more, governments, partners could do to improve their status and condition in Sierra Leone.
A shot of Freetown with the blue sea beyond. Basiru and his friends stand under a shelter of a building as heavy rain falls and the street is covered in water.
Well, I pray that the rain stops. Because we have one of our lecturers who says, anytime the rain comes, class is cancelled.
Voiceover from Basiru as he walks into a dorm room.
I always like to listen to news. That is one thing that has kept me going all this time. Hearing some of those pertinent human interest stories, the way people feel the suffering of people. I said, well, even though myself, I'm not coming from a rich family. In fact, I also come from a relatively poor family. That doesn't mean that I should not be able to assist in my own way.
He gets a suit out of his wardrobe and irons it.
So
I just want to prepare what I'm going to wear. You know that in Sierra Leone, the lights normally go out. I don't want to get close to the class time and then the lights go. You know that they normally tell us that we should put on suit jackets. They are telling us that we should be dressing like lawyers. The law really helps a lot in my advocacy work because with advocacy, you have to know the laws. You see, if you don't know the laws, sometimes your advocacy work will not be too effective. Do I know how to iron or what? I try.
Laws have said that we should have a free education. In fact, if you look at the United Nations Convention on Persons with Disability, clearly stated that all persons with disability across the world should have access to free education at all levels.
Basiru walks to his friend's dorm. They laugh and chat together.
Hi. Eva, I like when people make me laugh. I have friends on campus here at Fabi College. Of course, when I'm with them, we talk about different things. We talk about our friends, including our male and female friends. We also talk about national politics in Sierra Leone. We talk about international politics. And sometimes we also share our different experience.
Basiru speaks to his friends in the dorm room.
So what we have done recently as part of our engagement, we were at the school for hearing impaired. What all those guys go through, you will really feel for them. And we are all law students here, I suppose, eh? And if all of us are reading and studying law, it's for us to bridge that gap where there is injustice. We have to push highly that people with hearing impairment should have access to sign language interpreters within secondary schools and college.
Basiru walks to class in his suit, guided by a friend, then speaks to the camera.
Disability is a cross-cutting issue. There are people with disability who need health care. There are people with disability who need better jobs. There are people with disability who will be walking on the road, like me. The road should be accessible, it should be friendly. If that person who has a wheelchair, that wheelchair should be able to move to any public building to access any service. If that person is using crutch, that place should have ramp. We should make it easier for the person to climb and get access to that building. Just don't limit use of disabilities to one ministry. It is important that we mainstream the pledge, meaning the pledge should leave no one behind.
Basiru in his law lecture, Freetown from above, then Islamabad from above. Abia finishes her phone call with Basiru.
Thank you so much, Basiru. It's so good to talk to you.
It has been amazing. and I look forward to meet you in New York at the Summit of the Future.
Thank you.
Abia's voice over shots of Tapiwa, Taqwa, Basiru and other young people with disabilities from around the world.
We already gone halfway of the SDGs and still struggling for the implementation to achieve it. And the reason is we are actually leaving the young people behind. They are not included in the conversations. And it's not only just engaging and accomplishing the numbers, it's about meaningful participation, how they are contributing towards the country's legislation, how they are contributing towards the implementations of the plans. So it's all about including them, but in a meaningful way, and have the voices, and then they can create that change.
Starring Tapiwa Nashe Prince Mutsikira, Taqwa Ahmed, Basiru Ba, and Abia Akram. Also featuring in order of appearance, Syed Amar Jamal, Zachariah Urawa, Isaac Mwale, Edwin Chisina, Juliet Chisina, Cheryl Hove, Lydia Razasi, David Remy Wilson, Abubakar Bakli Sise, Esther Warrior Mara, Humprika Dumboya, Marvell Thompson, Andrew Bangura. Co-created by Abia Akram, Tapiwa Nashe Prince Mutsikira, Taqwa Ahmed, Basiru Ba. Produced by Della Anderson. Directed by Tom Jenkinson. Production team, Abubakar Bakli Sise, Amira Qureshi, Barmy Boy, Blue Chip Production, Isaac Smale, Leonora Haig, Nicholas Viterli, Sightsavers Content and Stories team, Tafadwa Ufameli, Maxman Media, Tiange Gondo. Additional footage, Africa Young Voices Network, Blessing Chigwenembe, Voice of America, Columbus S. Mavunga, Voice of America, Elite Karate Center, UNICEF Pakistan. Special thanks to Abdul Prince Bangura, Abdul Rahim Bangura, Abubakar Karoma, Amin Umar Korma, Mian Wahid Ahmed, Milton Moifoye Jr., Osman Bar, Rizwana Wahid, Zah Sobo, Special Olympics Zimbabwe, Subhan Wahid, Vani Samuel. Locations: Fora Bay College, University of Sierra Leone, Lofology, Islamabad, Megazone Entertainment Hub, Islamabad, Milton Margai School for the Blind, Freetown, More for Korsay 1 High School, Harare, National School for the Deaf, Freetown, Special Talent Exchange Programme, STEP, the National Sports Stadium, Harare, the Prince of Wales School, Freetown. In memory of Judith Heumann.